Hey everyone, it's me, Lewis. I'm just doing another cemetery series. If you can't hear me, it's because I'm right off of Commissioners Road. I'm at the Brick Street Pioneer Cemetery. It was established in 1813, Westminster Township, Historical Society, Ministry of Tourism and Culture, and Geographic Coordinates. If you're having difficulty hearing me, it's because I'm right off of Commissioners. It is pretty loud. So just kind of bear with me, and I'm trying to speak up as best as I can. If I remember, one of the oldest cemetery markers is right here in this street, or cemetery, I mean, in London, that is. Keep the gate there. So just some information. Cemetery served as burial ground for the settlers that first arrived in Westminster Township in 1810. In use by 1819, it is situated on the land originally granted Peter McNames and James Sheldon, though the farms which once surrounded it have been subdivided. The Brick Street Cemetery, now the charge of Mount Zion United Church, remains as a memorial to our ancestors, erected by London Foundation and the assistance of Ontario Ministry of Citizenship. If I remember, one of the oldest cemetery markers was here in this cemetery. I just don't remember where. So we'll take a quick look at some of the markers. 1894. Yeah, died 50 years. You can see down below, J.W. Smith is probably the person or the company that made that stone. Now, there's probably more to this, so chances are the top portion of it's long gone, but they left. Did put a marker on it just to sort of give you an idea of who this person was. Yeah, Topping family. So as you can see, as you can see with their children passing, they probably passed away from whatever childhood diseases were rampant at that time. So this is kind of a nice little cemetery that I like coming to, get some photos, check it out every so often. Yeah, this one had some repair work. There's some flowers there. Died at the age of 28. As you see by the posts, this was probably ringed because this must have been a family plot. Died in 1910. Very hard. Elizabeth with flowers. Hard to make it out. Now there's some ambulances going by. I'm going to let them go because I want to make sure you hear me and them, not them. Yeah, another one that had some repair work, 1868, Teal and Wilkes, London, hourglass there. This one is a plot, memory of Jane. Gonna zoom out. The Weeping Willows. Yeah, so it's really hard to make out a lot of the information off these old stones. Yeah, so in this part of the city, or as far as this cemetery goes, you're going to find probably some of the oldest markers in this part of the region. John Bogue, lived a very long life, 91 years. Yeah, a lot of the information is worn off, so as you can see, this one is probably a family plot. $1895. It's really hard to make out the information because most of it's worn out. Agnes McCallum died age 27. No, died age 60. But yeah, as you can tell, a lot of the information, yeah, from Scotland. This one, here, and finger pointing up. So yeah, with this being a pioneer cemetery, there's gonna be age categories of all types. Yeah, some lived very short lives, some died pretty early. This one right here, George Edwin Nichols, January 3rd, died July 4th. So he was only 6 months. So it's possible he may have passed away from childhood disease. Yeah, this one here, Nichols, a lot of the information has worn off, so it's really hard to make out. There might have been something in this one. Not exactly sure what exactly was in there, but there was probably something that was in there. Yeah, and yeah, this one's child cemetery, so very young, and yeah, it is what it is with how people lived. They had very short lifespans, 1903 to 1904. So some people have lived good long lives and others haven't. So it was kind of the way of things back then. And that's just how it was. Life back then was a lot tougher. 1872. Yeah, and that one is pretty close to a very modern take. Years. Yeah, so Eliza Griffith, 1 year, 1 month, 1 day. So, and Lyman Griffith, 9 months, 12 days. Yeah, so probably passed on from childhood diseases that were prevalent at the time. And plus, it was they didn't have the lifespan that we have right now. Yeah, Weeping Willow. Yeah, so in this, it's really hard to make that one out. Yeah, so in a lot of these pioneer cemeteries, a lot of very young people and a lot of very old people. Nathan Griffith died 1852, 96 years. Born 1756, USA, died 1852, arrived 1835, veteran of the American War of Independence. So he was He was from the States and he fought in the War of Independence, the U.S. War of Independence. I don't know too much about him, but I'll try to see if I can find any information to add to it. Yeah. William Taylor, 1862. So there are some people notable that have that are sort of resting here. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Just 12 days old. Yeah, and it is one of those things that's just unavoidable. Hammond. Yeah, and right here, Olive Odell, died February 25th, 1870, 34, husband killed in a refinery explosion. Yeah, and I don't know if that's the person there. Yeah, actually, yes, it is. So it's just, at least it was good that they put a marker there. Yeah, if you don't hear me, like I said, I'm right next to a very busy street, so it is what it is. This one was probably a family plot, just by the way it looks sort of gated. MacArthur, Elizabeth. Weeping Willows. I think that's supposed to be an open book there. More Weeping Willows. Kind of the style. Yeah, so usually with a lot of these cemeteries, it's impressive on where a lot of people originated from. Yeah, and this is unfortunate because this row here has a lot of young children that just didn't make it to their 5th birthday. But like I said, life was a lot harder back then, and that's just how things were. Memory of Rebecca, aged 74. Hopefully this one will be repaired. As you can see, it is broken off right like so. Yeah, another one that was just a young kid, which is kind of sad. But again, like I said, it was life back then. Like, don't see anything on this side, but urn looks kind of newish. Unless all the information has worn off, I'm thinking it probably has. But it is what, there it is, flint. So I'm not sure if this cemetery is still in use, but I have a feeling it might be still. there might have been more to this marker. So as you can see, part of it broken off there. Fairly young, age 22, Helena, Mary Williams. Yeah, so as you can see, I think this cemetery might still be in use, if anything. Yeah, and here they at least have some people do some work to maintain it. Yeah, this was part of a bell right there, so yeah, I'm just gonna video record it, not read it, but I'll let you pause it so you can read it. Yeah, so yeah, just another yeah, so as you can see, yeah, and this one is just surrounded by a bunch of little markers, so I'm guessing it's probably the member of this person's family. Yeah, so a lot of them. That is a glorious looking one right there. 84 years. So I'm not sure if this place is still in use. 1893, died 1870. So another transplanted U.S. citizen born in the U.S. moved here and laid down some roots. So, yeah, as far as maintenance goes, I think people that look after this have done a pretty decent job of maintaining it. Yeah, and this fenced off section, this is probably one of the prominent people of the time. Wife of John Eager, died July 11th, 1868, 53 years old. Yeah, so as you can see, Pride of Pulsey. Yeah, so it's quite nice because whoever's looking after this cemetery's done a really good job. And again, another prominent, this one's probably one of the more prominent fenced in family plots, I'm guessing, that I've seen. Just because you don't see it staying in one piece like this. Yeah, and again, just trying to make sure I go through this as quick as I can. Yeah, John Stiletto, killed in action, October 22nd, 1917. Yeah, so he was a World War I veteran. So, and yeah, I do hope that his marker gets restored. At least I hope. Yeah, so as you can see, yeah, and same type of deal. Their children didn't make it past 10 years of age. Like I said, it was a very tough time back then, living wise, and it's unfortunate. Yeah, and this one with two young kids. Yeah, again, same type of deal. One 5 months, the other one just didn't even make it to her 10th birthday. Eliza Jane Perkins. And like I said, living back then was extremely difficult because you just didn't, if you made it to 50 years of age, you pretty well lived a very good life back then. Yeah, and yeah, more of the older ones throughout. I don't know if I found the one marker that I was looking for because it was one of the first ones, one of the first people buried here in the cemetery. And it was, I believe, the oldest one here, but I'll also provide a link as well for it, just to give you some idea who the person was. Yeah, so that's basically it. I'm gonna more or less conclude it right here. Yeah, it's just, if you like what you've seen here with this video, leave a comment, leave a like. If there's any cemeteries you think I need to explore in southwestern Ontario or outside of southwestern Ontario, by all means, let me know. It's just one of those things we shouldn't really forget, because some of the markers still have some of their information on there. So as a lot of that stuff starts to wear off throughout time, we won't be able to remember them because whatever information of them is pretty well gone at that moment. But it's the same type of deal. It's just a matter of just remembrance in this way. Anyways, this is Lewis. You guys have a good one.